Hello guys, I know you've probably all been waiting for this video. It's one where I read the Battle for Dream Island official character guide. So yeah, let's begin right into the book. I'm going to skip these parts. Iance. Pronounced Iance. Iance is one of 8 teams competing in Season 4. Team members are mostly uncooperative, and Iance succeeds because other teams fail. Iance behaves like 2 teams in 1. It formed when Pencil wanted to recreate the team Free Smart from BFDI. Pencil, Match, Bubble, and Ruby eventually joined forces with Snowball, Flower, Fanny, and Lightning. Pencil wanted to name the team the Alliance. Since not all team members were part of this alliance, Fanny suggested the all should be removed and the team be called Iance. Go team! Snowball joined because he was looking for tough people to be on his side. Snowball and Lightning are the only males on the team. Match and Ruby once dressed up as Pencil and Flower and drew an off-model picture of 4. Pencil asks Lightning to zap her team members such as Fanny and Flower, who Pencil thinks are enemies. Ruby is the only one on the team who says Flower is beautiful. This makes Flower happy, of course, because she obsesses over her appearance. Lightning. Lightning isn't supposed to strike the same place twice, but don't tell that to Lightning. He loves to zap people, especially Flower. In fact, he'll zap her over and over again. This might make him seem mean, but he's just following orders to please others. Did you know, due to his luminescence, Lightning has never witnessed darkness and is confused when others claim they are scared of it? Flower. Flower isn't everyone's favorite person to be around. She thinks she's so beautiful. Flower is like the kid in class who thinks she's better than everyone else, but she's always angry. Flower thinks very highly of herself and hates it if people don't say she's beautiful. Flower wants to be respected, and she's learned to gain respect by listening to what others have to say. Did you know the weight of all of Flower's petals adds up to 9,041 kilograms, or 19,932 pounds? These are commonly used to turn empty containers into heavy weights. Match. Match is the typical spoiled brat, like for sure. She's a wooden matchstick who never burns out when she's on fire. Match is caring when it comes to her friends, but she might also seem a bit selfish and lazy because of her constant break times. She also complains a lot. Match's best friend is Pencil, and the two become devastated when either one is eliminated. Match doesn't really like Spongy and has developed the hand-clapping game Spongy Cake to mock him. Did you know Match has an irrational fear of handheld gaming devices? Bubble. She might easily pop, but Bubble is still happy and carefree. At first, Bubble might seem to worry a lot, but in reality, she's just looking out for her friends. She is actually very courageous and can be counted on when the going gets tough. Bubble is easily excited, especially by yo-yo berries and yo-yo cake. Her best friend is Match, although their relationship is hot and cold. What's in a name? Bubble subscribes to a how-to magazine that includes issues like how to be transparent with friends. Pencil. Pencil is a typical number 2 pencil with a graphite tip. You probably have one in your backpack. Pencil is a born leader, but she can be very demanding. Pencil uses lightning to shock anyone who annoys her, especially Flower, Fanny, and Spongy. Pencil is an expert at staring contests, even managing to outstare the legendary David himself. Did you know Pencil won Total Fiery Island, a BFDIS comic strip that came before BFDI, making her the first winner of all time? Ruby. When we first met Ruby, she is a sweet and sensitive gem of a person. Get it? Gem? Lol. Despite her brilliance, others might see Ruby as an irresponsible scatterbrain. She acts before she thinks, which often leads to mistakes. Ruby's fans are just as enthusiastic as she is, saying her names hundreds of times in each vote. Did you know Ruby eats more sugar in one day than the others do in a month combined? Snowball. Snowball is very proud of himself and thinks he's better than everyone. Due to his enormous physical strength, such as ripping apart neckties, he thinks people would be helpless without him. Psh! Golfball can't stand Snowball because she believes that Snowball's brain is tiny. Although Corny and Snowball consider themselves friends, they rarely hang together anymore. Did you know the highest test score Snowball has ever received was -7? Hold on, it was actually -75%, but Snowball, in a rage, ripped off the 5. Fanny. Fanny is an electric fan who, it seems, doesn't need electricity to work. No one is sure how she runs. It's impossible to mention Fanny without talking about her catchphrase, saying that she hates everything from fulcrums to jumping. Fanny's negative attitude causes her to get into arguments, especially with Match. One thing that makes her happy, though, is turning on her fan blades and blowing things in people's faces. Did you know Fanny hates when people read random trivia facts about her? The Losers. The Losers is a team of 4 friends and 4 newcomers. All are centered around Loser. Everyone adores Loser, even members of the other teams. Who can blame them? Loser is the most amazing person in the universe. Loser's so strong and he's so smart and he makes everyone feel at home. And we really wish he were on our team. Go team! Pin is the first person on the team to consider not appreciating Loser. Guess what? Everyone gets mad at Pin for thinking such things. Fiery suggested the team name and Loser humbly accepted it. Then everyone chanted Loser's name. The Losers team logo has far-reaching historical roots. 6 years before the debut of the character Loser, crowds of fans were already flaunting the logo in broad daylight. This team has Loser on it, which automatically makes it the best team in BFB. Corny. Corny is a small orange coin. One of his favorite hobbies is baking dirt. Corny always knows which teammate will be best at a specific challenge, and he likes to make long speeches that no one else cares about. Corny and Fiery have been rivals for as long as they can remember, and they still are, even after becoming friends. One result of this rivalry is that when Fiery was picking people to allow onto Dream Island, he picked Corny last. Did you know, contrary to what some may tell you, Corny is actually not a penny? Pin. Pin has a history of being bossy and making mistakes that aggravate people. One of those mistakes was stealing people's loaves of bread in a failed attempt to rejoin the game. When she figured out that no one liked her, she tried to make friends by motivating them to win challenges. Still, she often feels isolated and once mentioned that Teardrop was the only person who didn't say she hated her. Did you know Pin's sweat changes color to reflect her current emotion, like a mood ring? Needle. Needle is a sewing needle who hates being called needy. Most people call her that name by accident or say the word for unrelated reasons, but the announcer does it on purpose. Needy is a competitive player and is a faster runner than Fiery. This has never been confirmed, but we all know it's true. Over the years, Needle has had 5 different voice actors, the most of any character. You don't say! Needle technically has 3 eyes. Fiery. Fiery loves to win. He also likes to be complimented, but he's hard to pin down. He doesn't fit neatly into any one category. Some categories he's part of include deathly afraid of heights, deathly afraid of crying, unable to swim, and One Dream Island. Fiery and Corny are rivals. Fiery is a fast runner, but Corny isn't. Fiery can cook without an oven, but Corny can't. Fiery's immune to poison, but Corny isn't. Fiery loves chocolate. Wonder what Corny thinks about chocolate. Did you know Fiery is the last of all BFDI characters, only being weighed down by his limbs? Loser. Loser is anything but a loser. This ivory-colored cube is, without a doubt, the most popular contestant, which is why his teammates named him the leader of the Losers. Loser is the most charitable and kind-hearted person ever. He often prevents fights and tells people things that make them feel good. He has saved people's lives from heavy baskets and is so skilled at playing with toys that he can play with them before they've even been invented. He also likes to watch Cake at Stake, even if his team isn't up for elimination. Did you know Loser somehow has more fans on Earth than there are people? Cake. Cake is a slice of chocolate cake, who blushes a lot. He has a dollop of white meringue on top of his head, near a smidge of pink frosting. In case you're curious, that meringue is indeed squishy, which entices others to sit on him. Much more than other characters with their own kind, Cake empathizes strongly with inanimate cakes, becoming excited when they're celebrated and upset when they're eaten. Cake relies on others for emotional support, especially Loser. He clings to Loser because Loser is such a nice guy. Did you know Cake's rim of pink frosting is strawberry flavored? Eggy. Is Eggy hard-boiled or soft-boiled? No one knows. Obviously, she is not scrambled or poached. She does crack easily, though, a fact that Book is all too eager to state. Despite this, Eggy is very confident, which also leads her to pick out flaws in others. According to Eggy, in the past she never spoke and was much more content. Also, apparently, she used to be in an egg inside of an egg, if you will. Did you know, if Eggy suspects that someone isn't paying attention to her, she'll test them by adding blah 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 to her sentence. Clock. Clock might seem stingy, demanding, and annoying, but he wants to do well in challenges. Specifically, his adept clock hands have helped in multiple team victories. Because of this power, Clock doesn't like when people touch his clock hands. Clock stands up for those who have been wronged, especially if they've been wronged by Lai. He now has a truce with Lai, but Ice Cube barged into that truce as well, so now everything's weird. Did you know Clock can change the position of his hands whenever he wants, but if he waits for them to move naturally, they are infinitely powerful. Team Ice Cube. At first glance, Team Ice Cube may seem as if they are in a close-knit bunch, but in reality, team members don't know one another all that well. They think they are close, but they just can't nail their team dynamic. Go team! Gelatin once made a statue out of Bracelety's belongings. Donut always tries to keep Gelatin from trying to explode Bommy. Lollipop once refused to team up with Barfbag because of Barfbag's looks. Team Ice Cube is the only group of people that has ever destroyed a swing set. For now. Gelatin. Raise your hand if you like green gelatin. Gelatin is a cool dude, and it's not because you have to put gelatin in the fridge. He's a goofball who does things just because he thinks they're amusing. He doesn't seem to have a conscience, although he doesn't have a desire to do bad things either. For example, he enjoys throwing forks and doesn't care where they land. Still, when others ask him for help, Gelatin always finds a way. Did you know Gelatin is claustrophobic? He doesn't like tight places. Donut. How can a donut be cherry-filled yet have a hole? That question has always perplexed Donut. Although he's sometimes seen by others as stubborn, he's really not. He's a very responsible donut and always wants to make sure things go according to plan. Donut knows he is not popular. He deals with it as best as he can. He is very skilled at giving motivational speeches to his teammates. Did you know Donut secretly has the ability to replenish his cherry filling if it's depleted? Fiery Jr. Fiery Jr. is a flame, although a much smaller one than Fiery. Although he tries to be protective of his friends, especially Bommy and Spongy, Fiery Jr. is seen as largely insensitive. He resorts to name-calling most of the time. Fiery Jr. is best friends with Bommy, but can't stand Naily because he thinks she's annoying. Did you know Fiery Jr. is the last of all BFDI Jr. characters, only being weighed Jr. down Jr. by Jr. his Jr. limbs Jr. Bommy. Bommy looks like an old-fashioned cartoon bomb. He's a lot like Woody, but his primary fear is exploding. Bommy always seems to be holding a slice of cake and a banana. Don't mess with his banana because he will get angry. Bommy doesn't speak much, and when he does, he's hard to understand because he talks quickly and his voice is very high-pitched. You could say he has a short fuse. Did you know Bommy's greatest fear is balls? Spongy. Spongy is a yellow sponge who contains some measure of grease. Most people think Spongy is gross, and others are upset that he once squashed the announcer. Despite these setbacks, Spongy is great at carrying bread. The amount of loaves he can carry is a baker's dozen. That's 13. Good job, Spongy. His best bud is Barfbag. Did you know Spongy has been the reigning champion of airplane sailing for 3 years in a row? Barfbag. Imagine carrying around a bag of vomit 24/7. Barfbag doesn't have to imagine. Barfbag has a high opinion of herself, believing she is smart and often sensible. Some people don't think that highly of Barfbag because they incorrectly believe the barf molecules pollute her brain, which makes her incredibly upset. After all, she answered a difficult quiz question for her team correctly. Did you know when Barfbag feels like throwing up, she cannot use herself to collect her barf because that would have no effect? Naily. As nails are wont to do, Naily likes to spear things. Naily is pricked Woody at least twice. Naily is very self-confident and eager to participate. Naily is fond of puns, which are a play on words. Fiery Jr. doesn't like that, but many recommended characters secretly appreciate it a whole lot. Did you know every time Naily uses the pun nailed it, she loses one friend? Bracelety. Bracelety is a silicone bracelet. A loud, hyperactive girl who loves, and we mean loves, Ice Cube. Bracelety uses her ability to create signs to encourage Ice Cube and let her know she's a special chunk of frozen H2O. Bracelety likes Ice Cube so much that she'll battle anyone who doesn't share in her enthusiasm. To this day, Ice Cube has not acknowledged Bracelety once. Love at first ice. Bracelety thinks that Ice Cube deserves more screen time. Death Pact. Death Pact means death prevention and creating trust. The team's members have peace-loving views and would like nothing more than to prevent deaths and foster harmony among everyone. They'll do anything to make sure that no one dies, even if it means losing a competition. Pi is considered the best at preventing death, yet she never takes a leadership role. Sometimes she doesn't even participate. Lai is goal-oriented and tries to keep track of how many deaths the team prevents. Go team! Pillow joined the team because the word killing interested her. Lai and Tree often tell others what to do. Black Hole and Pen can easily and quickly complete challenges because they're awesome. Death Pact is the most popular team among fans. Bottle. Bottle is an agreeable person. She speaks loudly and likes to copy what others are doing. Bottle is very ticklish and loves to eat cake. Bottle doesn't mind having things rattling around inside her. Bottle is an optimistic bottle who can only be shattered with the power of bottle flipping. Did you know Bottle misheard the name of Battle for Dream Island and was confused as to why she wasn't given Dream Island? Tree. Woody and Pencil are parts of trees, but Tree is a real thing. He is a tree with leaves, although he seems to be evergreen. It doesn't matter. Tree is not anchored by any roots, but he thinks of himself as a with-it, down-to-earth type of guy. Only losers' charming charisma can sweep him off his feet. When he sees a problem, Tree knows what not to do, although he hasn't a clue on what he should do. When Tree is fed up, he'll walk away and tell people he's leafing. Did you know Tree is a non-coniferous evergreen? Lottie. Naturally curious, Lottie is probably one of the most adventurous characters on BFDI. She is a plastic light switch. To some, though, she is somewhat pushy. She's always trying to force others to do what she wants them to do, such as trying to get Ice Cube to wiggle Teardrop's vocal cords to get her talk. Lottie is curious and will always look to discover new things, like what's at the top of L's string. Did you know Lottie wishes she was an empress? Then she could say, I, empress, am pressed and am impressed, when toggled skillfully. Pen. Pen is BFDI's coolest character. He's a ballpoint pen with blue ink. When an easy shortcut presents itself, Pen knows how to take it. However, he and Tree sometimes have to ask Black Hole for help. His best friend is Eraser. Blocky is friends with both. Despite his problem-solving skills, Pen's empty promises put him in a debt with more than 6,398 quintillion times the price of the world. Did you know Pen gets jealous every time he sees Pencil erase something she wrote? Pie. Kaboom! Why is Pie always exploding? She's a blueberry pie, and in BFDI, blueberries are explosive. She'll detonate when her emotions get the best of her, or when a fork lands on her, to name a few causes. Pi is mellow and laid back, even though she's explosive. She can be easygoing about many things, and she can also contort herself in all sorts of weird positions, bending her arms and legs in unnatural ways. Did you know Pi knows the digits of pi? All of them! Pillow. Pillow is a big fluffy down pillow who is unpredictable. She can stuff objects inside her pillowcase or use it as a weapon. However, she's not all powerful. She can't even tell which things she's allowed to eat. Pillow likes to think of herself as a scientist, although her research is often faulty. For example, she thought that people who waved their arms around didn't care about things. She was wrong. Not a good look for a scientist, don't you agree? Did you know Pillow doesn't know how to write? Black hole. Black holes in outer space may be proud that they are the centers of galaxies, but this black hole is actually quite humble. Just like in real life, everything that comes near a black hole gets sucked in, torn up, and pulled apart. Despite its seemingly destructive nature, a black hole is great to have on your team. Everyone is constantly asking for his help. Black hole can be a know-it-all of sorts and is spouting trivia all the time. Still, he's an easygoing cosmic character. Did you know black hole is the mass of 20 suns, which makes him a danger to the structural integrity of Earth? Remote. Remote can send and receive infrared signals. She loves batteries because without them, she would faint. She has a robotic voice, although she definitely does have feelings. One of those feelings is the desire to be seen as a person and not a tool. Regardless, she's willing to help as a data storage tool for Lai to track her death prevention rate. Did you know Remote gets the best wireless signal out of everyone, which is both helpful and dangerous? That's going to be it for part 1. See you in part 2 where I read the rest of the book. Bye!